Alright, what up? Today I'm going to be tier ranking literary women and girls based on how much they are not like other girls. Just 3 quick disclaimers. Number 1, everything I'm going to be talking about today is very based on like stereotypical and very traditional presentations of femininity. Obviously, femininity does not have a certain look or behavior, but just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be discussing it in that way. Number 2, a lot of these characters go through pretty big character arcs, some of which literally have to do with their relationship to their femininity and to other women. For the purposes of our video, we're just kind of going to be talking about them as they are introduced to us. Like if we really just distilled them down, who would they come off as? So we're just gonna kind of be ignoring the nuance of character arcs. Number 3, speaking of nuance, I have a lot to say on the concept of not like other girls or girl's girl and how it has become in and of itself a way for women to express their internalized misogyny onto other women, to shame and belittle and police femininity of other women. I also think there's like a million layers of nuance that we could talk about with these characters, of the environments they were raised in and the trauma they have and the mentalities they were raised with and all that kind of stuff. But that is not this video. Maybe that will be a video in the future, but that is not this video today. This is not a serious video at all. This is for the goofs and the gaffs, okay? Pranks, laughs. Oh. So all of that is to say, don't take this too seriously. Thank you. First things first, let's go over the tiers. S tier, we have a John Green female main character. This is for the girls that are so not like other girls that they could be a John Green protagonist. This is based off the fact that I feel like John Green did so much damage to girls my age in making us feel like we should resent being girly or traditionally feminine and think we must reject that or even actively shame other women for that. Obviously, John Green's not entirely to blame. Tumblr played a part too, among other things, but you know, that's where that comes from. A tier, pretty self-explanatory blueprint. These are just literally like, if you look up not like other girls trope, these women are the blueprint for that. Number 3 is cool girl monologue. So this comes from Amy Dunn's cool girl monologue in Gone Girl, but for our purposes, we're gonna kind of be skewing it a little. So originally, that monologue is kind of about how we as women alter the way we behave and we try to be perceived in a certain way so that we can get by in this world, not have to deal with as many consequences of misogyny, have men be attracted to us, a million different reasons. For my purposes, what cool girl monologue is going to mean is that these are the girls who, whether or not they, you know, fit into the not like other girls category, it's mostly how men perceive them that is making them not like other girls. I feel like as we go on, you'll kind of see what I mean by this. But basically, it's not about how the character herself views herself. It's about how the men in the character's life view them, talk about them, put them on a pedestal, stuff like that. C tier, not like other girls girl. These are for the girls who they do, you know, on paper fit into the not like other girls trope, but that's not their mentality. They actually celebrate being like other girls. They love other girls. They're very much a girl's girl who just happens to also be not like other girls. And D tier, white Air Force Ones. This might be showing my age a little bit. This is probably kind of outdated. But when I was a teenager in high school, every single girl, including myself, wore white Air Force Ones. So I don't know what the equivalent would be today. Maybe like the Adidas Burlas? Am I saying that correctly? But yeah, this is for girls who are like other girls. They are the most basic girl you could possibly think of. All right, let's just get into it. I'm just gonna kind of go at random here. Let's start with Ginny Weasley. Ginny is from the Harry Potter series. She does have a lot of not like other girls traits in the sense that she's very one of the boys. She is super athletic and sporty. She's often joining in on like the crass jokes that Harry and Ron and Fred and George and all the boys are making. But at the same time, Ginny does have a lot of girlfriends and she's constantly standing up for girls. She's standing up against guys and their slightly misogynistic remarks or preconceptions. So she goes squarely in not like other girls girl. Also, just putting this in here, we do not support the author of Harry Potter. I talk about her characters, but fuck her. She's not a girl's girl. She sucks. For Hermione Granger, she is not a girl's girl. She is actually pretty demeaning to a lot of girls and their interests. She is definitely one of the boys. Her 2 best friends are men. She really doesn't have any girlfriends. She's other than maybe Ginny. She has like girls she will get along with, but she's not really friends with them, and she's just so judgmental to people like Lavender Brown and Fleur Delacour. So she's gonna go into Blueprint. Because I feel like if Harry or Ron did make a misogynistic remark, she would, like, hit them over the head with a newspaper, but I don't know. She is not like other girls. She's not a girl's girl. Katniss Everdeen, she's from the Hunger Games series, and look, I love Katniss. I love Katniss, but we can all admit she is kind of the blueprint for not like other girls. And yes, again, as I said earlier, there is nuance in the fact that a lot of that comes from the environment she's raised in and her having to survive, but she is pretty degrading to other women in her internal monologue oftentimes. She hates dresses, she hates, you know, beauty processes. She isn't into getting boys' attention. So yeah, she is very blueprint, not like other girls. Next, you will see Yara Shahidi. That is actually supposed to represent Magnolia Parks from the Magnolia Parks universe. If you want to know why I picked Yara Shahidi, go watch my last video about adaptations I want to see and fan casting. Magnolia Parks is going into cool girl monologue because she is like other girls. She is very traditionally feminine and girly. She likes dresses, she likes makeup, she likes shopping, she likes boys. She likes all of those stereotypical traditional girly things. The thing with Magnolia is she thinks she's better than other girls. She thinks she's better than other girls at performing those feminine things. So she's definitely not basic. She's not white AF1s, but she is very much like other girls. She just thinks she's better, and more importantly for this category, all of the men around her think she is not like other girls. They literally like deify her and talk about her like there's no one that has ever existed that can even compare to Magnolia Parks. Then we have Lara Jean Covey. No, we're gonna come back to her. Skipping Lara Jean Covey for a second, we're gonna go to Daisy Haites. The picture is Jessica Alexander. Again, or is it Alexandra? Again, watch my last video if you want to know more about that. She is, honestly, I'm gonna put her in John Green FMC because she is like quintessential, not like other girls. She is so hateful of other girls. All of her friends are men. She is definitely one of the boys. She's always like, what's my one rule? No guns at the dinner table. Like, ugh, that's the most not like other girls shit I've ever heard. And she literally, like, it's not hidden. She literally says in the book, like, I don't get along with other women. I don't like other women. I get along with men. So she is so fucking not like other girls. Okay, then going back to Lara Jean Covey. Lara Jean Covey is from To All the Boys I've Loved Before. She's white AF1s. She dresses very girly. She likes to bake. She likes to cook. She likes to watch Golden Girls and hang out with her sisters. She is very feminine and proud of it. So she's definitely white AF1s. She embodies kind of those traditional gender roles and stereotypical interests and whatnot. Then we have Sansa Stark from the A Song of Ice and Fire series. Sansa Stark is also going in white AF1s, similarly to Lara Jean Covey. She is like the embodiment of those stereotypical traditional gender roles. She likes pretty dresses, she likes to sew, she dreams of marrying a prince, she loves to keep the company of women. She is very, like, she holds tight to what it means to be a proper lady and gets upset when her younger sister Arya, who we'll talk about in a second, doesn't act like a proper lady. She is definitely white AF1s. Arya Stark is John Green female main character. She, like, I think if Arya Stark existed today, she would definitely be questioning her gender identity, whether she be non-binary or trans, I don't know, but she would definitely, if she like knew that was an option, she would be questioning. She's literally the exact opposite of Sansa. She hates dresses. She hates that she has to be a woman. She wants to be a knight. She wants to sword fight with the boys. She wants to do everything that men do, and she hates the fact that she's not allowed to because she is a girl. She like fully resents the fact that she was born as a girl. And she hates when people call her a girl, even though she is. She just like rejects that. Alison DiLaurentis, I'm gonna go cool girl monologue because similarly to Magnolia Parks, she is very feminine. She wears her girly clothes. She has a lot of girlfriends. She's kind of that stereotypical mean girl. So she definitely fits into the stereotypical idea of a girl, but men around her think she's so cool and so not like other girls, and just like, wow, they can't believe she exists. So she's definitely cool girl monologue. Then we have America Singer. Again, if you want to know who that picture is, go watch my last video. America Singer is from The Selection, and a lot of people call America like a quintessential not like other girls. And there definitely are that moments. She doesn't have any interest in becoming the queen or winning over the prince. She literally like strikes a deal that she's allowed to wear pants. She hates wearing dresses. She hates getting her makeup done. So she definitely has those traits. The Selection also came out in kind of that era where all female protagonists were not like other girls. But as someone who read the Selection trilogy as an adult, something that actually really surprised me was America Singer is a major girl's girl. She is constantly sticking up for the other woman. She makes friends with a lot of them. She, like, just because she doesn't want to partake in some of those things like wearing dresses or wanting the prince, she doesn't judge other people for wanting those things. She understands them. She thinks that's fine. She thinks that's cool. It's just not for her. So she is definitely going into not like other girls girl. Amy March is from Little Woman. She goes into white AF1s. Very similar to Sansa. She is the sister that is into pretty dresses and painting and more traditionally feminine things. You know, she exists in the 1800s, and so she has kind of just accepted that, like, she has to get married, and that's fine. She just wants to marry a rich guy so that she can, you know, not struggle. Meanwhile, her sister, Jo March, is the exact opposite. John Green FMC. Jo does not want to wear dresses. She does not want to have a husband. She really doesn't have much interest in romance at all. I know in the end she does get married, but in my head that's not canon. She wants to be a writer. She wants to own her own property. She wants to be self-sufficient. She, like, so much of Jo March's personality and story in Little Woman is how much she hates the fact that the gender roles of the times constrict her. Oh, then we have, this one's hard. We have Cathy Ames from East of Eden. Where do I even start with Cathy? She's definitely not like other girls because she is a serial killer. She does hate the idea of getting married. She does purchase a specific type of house where the product is other women, if you know what I mean. Don't want to get demonetized, so I'm not gonna, you know. And she's terrible to the women that work for her house. But, like, none of these tiers feel right for her. I guess I just have to put her in John Green FMC simply because that is, like, the top tier, not a girl's girl or not like other girls. But she's like in a whole world of her own. Honestly, I should probably just make a tier called Cathy Ames, and she would go there because she's fucking crazy. All right, next we have Edna Pontellier. Edna is from a book called The Awakening by Kate Chapon, also came out and based in the 1800s. The kind of entire plot and purpose of The Awakening is about how Edna is not like other girls. It starts by saying, like, Edna has never been a mom, a mother woman, a mom woman, meaning she never really wanted kids. She never really wanted to get married, but because she exists in the 1800s, that's just kind of what you had to do. And throughout the story, she leaves her husband, she abandons her children, she starts an affair with a younger guy, and she just kind of starts enjoying her freedom and seeing what it's like to be able to live as a man. Not literally as a man, not in like a trans sense, but just like with the same constrictions that men do. And of course she's treated horribly for it. But yeah, I don't know where I want to put her, because a lot of her ideals aren't that extreme to a modern day woman, but they're very extreme to an 1800s woman, so much so that the author, Kate Chapon, got, like, blacklisted from all of her writers' circles. This book pretty much killed her career. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put her in not like other girls girl, because she just wants the best for women. She just wants freedom for women. She wants freedom from strict gender roles. But in reality, there's a lot of women out there who want the same thing. They just weren't given the option at the time. Then we have Thea Stilton, which is Geronimo Stilton's sister. Thea Stilton is a fucking badass and a girl's girl. She is definitely doing things that maybe don't conform to the traditional gender roles, but she has her little girl gang by her side, and she loves girls. She champions them. Thea Stilton is the best. And then we have Lily from Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. So Lily at the start of Dash and Lily's Book of Dares basically like puts a book into a library hoping a random man will find it, or I guess a random boy, I think they're teenagers at the time, and kind of follow her clues to get to know him. She's very lonely. She's just sort of like quintessential manic pixie dream girl. Also, if you're hearing like, that's the chair. She's quintessential manic pixie dream girl, and she's probably like the most literal in this category, where she could absolutely be a John Green female main character. In fact, one of the authors, David Levithan, has co-written a book with John Green called Will Grayson. Yeah, so that's my list. Again, Cathy truly belongs in a tier of her own, but everyone else I'm pretty satisfied with. Like, subscribe, comment. It really helps me out. I think that's all I have for this week.